Okay, today we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. So I think yesterday, the last thing we were working on was, let's see, this menu, and we wanted to make it so that when you clicked on one of these buttons, the side menu opened up like this, and it opened up all these sub menu options. So we got it working for this first one for about, and I've actually gotten it working at least somewhat for the other ones. So I think I said I was going to try to get it all working before we did our next video. That didn't happen. I had a super long dentist appointment this morning, and then I also interviewed a student who's interested in maybe being an intern or student worker for us here. So that took up a lot of my day. So I guess we'll just keep working with what we had before. So I'll just bring you up to speed on what I did do. So here in where we had our click function, this was what was controlling, when we click these nav items here. I changed it from, if you remember before, we were calling on this, ID specifically. So we changed it. So now we're just saying any click on any of these LIs here. So I added a class name of top nav links to this UL. So any LIs in there that get a click will open that side nav. Now what I didn't get to change yet is this portion of it, and this portion is what opens or expands that menu item in the side nav to show all the sub items. So the idea is we want to match up the index value of the top nav items, so that about, academics, admissions in the top there, match it up with the same index value in the side nav. So I'm not sure exactly the best way to do that. So I knew there was this .eq thing in jQuery, so I just put that in a console log here, just so we could see, what value it was going to give us. So let me bring that up. So you can see when we click, we're not getting the value that I wanted. All it's giving us is, that what that item was. So it just tells us, hey, this is an LI. What I thought, and I didn't take the time to read the documentation, so I thought it would just be faster to test it. What I had hoped would happen is that maybe we would get the index number. I didn't think there was a good chance it would happen, but it was worth a shot. So if we can't get it to work the way we want, there's a shortcut that we definitely could use for now that would get it to work, and that would be just to give each one of these an ID or some type of attribute that just had the numbers in it already. So this LI would be 0, 1, 2, 3, and then we would just grab that ID when it's clicked on, and then pop that in here, and it would work. We know that would work. The problem with that is when this eventually does go live, okay, because right now this is just kind of a little place for us to play around with it and get the look right without having to wait and refresh the page on a live site. What will happen is these will all be generated by the content management system, so by Electron. So we won't have direct control. Well, at some point we might be able to dig down and figure out what it's going to generate. But um, at least at this point, I'm not exactly sure that I can control it to the extent where I could have it list out, um, and give a different number. So, I mean, if this were just all in JavaScript, we could do a loop. That would be great. We could just, give them all the values we wanted. Even, if this were a React site, we could very easily, give that value to our components that we were just, printing out, all these LIs. But this is, I'll show you where this is coming from. So I'm going to flip over. I think we went through this maybe on the very first video I did. This is the files that are actually on the Electron site. So this is the live site. This is a copy of the master file for the live site. So this controls what shows up at the top of the page, the top of the HTML page for every page of the whole site. And this is the section that has to do with the navigation bar at the top. So this is probably what we want. But you see, this isn't like normal HTML here. Okay, this is calling on some other portion of the Electron system, and I haven't found this yet. So I'm not exactly sure where that's at. This site is. There are a lot of files on this server, thousands and thousands of files. A lot of them are just image files, for the site, but I'm not familiar enough with this system to know exactly where this is at. So in case we can't find that and we can't get in there and edit it, we need to be able to have some way to just, let's just count how many items we have and we'll pull that. Now, I really hope to be able to find this and figure out exactly how, we're going to be, we can edit this. But for now, just in case, I would like for this to work a different way. So, my idea is we could kind of combine the two, kind of the backup idea, and the idea of so the one idea was, well, let's just manually put the numbers in, but we don't want to do that because we might not have control over that. The other idea, well, let's just dynamically figure out what that number is, what that value, the index value is. So I'm thinking we could just combine those ideas. So what we can do is, I know that I can grab and get, we'll show it here in the in DevTools. Okay, so within the console and DevTools, let's just grab, so we don't want the about link. We want, we're going to grab this and move this over so we can see our names here. Let's grab the top nav links. And then we want to get all the LIs that are in there. Okay, see, we've actually, we have them all. We have all these LIs listed, and they have an index number. So, what we can try to do is, hey, let's just, after the fact, after the page loads, so after whatever is going to be rendered from the content management system is actually rendered to the page, let's just take it at that point, and then we'll get the index numbers and we can apply those index numbers. So what we can do is, let's see, trying to get it to a point where we're having a space to do everything we need to. Let's see. It's actually kind of hard to think through this kind of thing on a live stream. So I might be a little bit more quiet than usual for a second here while I'm going to think this out. Let's take that out. We don't need that. We don't need this inside the click function. Let's just space this out a little bit so I don't get confused. Okay, in case you're not familiar with that, instead of writing var to make a variable, I'm going to write const. In ES6, or ES 2015, which is a newer version of JavaScript, you can use const if you want something to be a constant if it's not going to change, a variable is not going to change, or you can use let. I'm not going to go through all the differences between that, but look that up. That's what I'm going to use here. It's not supported by all browsers. I mean, pretty much all of your, up-to-date browsers will support it. At least, Chrome will support it. I think it works in Firefox. I'm not sure about the other ones, but I'm using Babel to change this all into code that most browsers can use. So just don't be confused. When you see const or let, just, if you're not familiar with them, just think var. Okay, so I'm going to make, I'm just going to call this link array for now, and we're going to make this equal to this top nav links li. Okay, so this will give us basically, this array as a variable. So now we can do for okay, I think this is the right syntax. What's this telling me? Create a global for variable. Is this it? I mean, there we go. It's been a couple weeks since I've written one of these, so it's crazy how fast you forget syntax when you don't use it every day. Okay, so I think this for of loop, this is kind of newer too, so this is just going to let us iterate over this. Actually, we do need a way to get I. And I can't remember how to get the value, the count in the for loop. Let's just do an old school loop here. I try to use the newer loops when I can, but just for the sake of time, let's just do the old way, since I know for sure it'll work. Okay, so let's do a loop. Okay. Does that look good? If anybody's watching here, if you see a syntax error or something that just looks silly, let me know. I'm really surprised at how hard it is to get your brain to work on this while you're trying to narrate. Anyway, I'm sure I'll get used to it. This is only my second week live streaming, by the way. So, inside this loop, all we want to do is take the want to grab the link array, right? Okay, I want the link array, and then we want to put in I. We want this, let's put this in, wrap this in here, and we're going to give it an attribute, and let's just call this let's call it index num, and that is going to get the value of I. Right? Okay. Let's see if that works. I get a weird feeling that I just missed something important, but oh, just gotta open a different tab here. Okay, so what we should find is that this now has, and I must have missed something. Okay, so I'm not getting any kind of okay. Oh, Caroline, I'm sure you can still help out with something. I feel like I'm making some type of basic mistake. For anybody watching this later on, I had a comment that one of the viewers said they're probably not likely to help very much, but honestly, I think it's great to have a second pair of eyes on your code, no matter what the skill level is. Sometimes you just make a silly mistake, like a misspelling, and I mean, I've taken like more time than I'd like to admit on trying to debug something, and it ended up being a spelling error. So it doesn't matter your skill level or your experience with the code. You can still help. So let's take a look at this. What am I doing wrong here? Let's make sure this is running. I don't have this in any sort of a weird loop. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do now, there's definitely a better way to do this. You can open up DevTools and look in like the Event Listeners tab. You can set up breakpoints and figure stuff out, and I know that's a better way to do things. I'm just not at that level yet where I'm confident enough in my skills of doing that. So we're just going to use the trusty console log here for a minute, just to see. I really want to see what that value is that we're getting for that link array. So let's console log. And I'm going to put in that I. This is the index number, so that every time this loop runs, we're going to hopefully get another value. So let's run this and see. Okay. All right, well, this tells us something. This is not even running. So what is my problem? Am I missing? I think I'm probably just missing something super basic. So it looks like our loop isn't even running at all. Maybe let's set I equal to 0. It's less than like a rate. Let me just test this really quick. Sorry, I'm being quiet. Just trying to think this through here. Okay, so we are getting, just to explain what I did, I just copied this over into the console just to kind of test the code and just immediately see what it's going to be. So, the link array length is 4, that's what we want. That's it. Okay, see, I tell you, it was a silly mistake. When I made this, I didn't set I equal to 0. So, like I said, I haven't. I've been working on getting the site speed, better for this current the live version of this homepage for the last 2 weeks or so. So I haven't actually written that much JavaScript. I've been working on like image compression and things. So you just forget simple syntax that I've probably used hundreds of times at least. So anyway, that's a good example of just something simple. It could be something really simple, and I just kind of look through and see line by line, okay, what could it be? So now that we have that, we can check, since our loop wasn't running at all. Oh, there we go. Good. I hope this was the case. Okay, so there wasn't a problem with our code here. So this part of it was totally fine. It was doing what it should be doing, only this loop wasn't running. So now that our loop's running, just remove that console log. It's a good idea to take out the console logs from your code when you're not, after you're done, you don't need them anymore. Definitely before the site goes live, you want to take them out. I mean, most people won't even see them, but in case somebody does look at DevTools, then they're going to see all your console logs. So I guess don't put anything crazy in your console log because somebody might see it if you forget to take it out. But this did work, and we have the index numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and that's great. That's great. That's exactly what we need. Okay, so that was the first step and what we needed. So now we have these LIs have the correct index number. So if we go back to our click function, when one of these LIs is clicked on, what we should be able to do is say, let's go, let index, let index num equal, and we're going to go this. Okay, so in JavaScript, if you're not familiar with this, what this is going to be in this particular case is whichever thing we click on. That element is going to be represented by the value this. This can be tricky sometimes. Sometimes it's not what you think it is, what you think it's going to be. So if you're using this and things aren't working out the way that you think they should work out, then that might be it. You might need to just console log this and see what it is. But in this case, I know that it should be this li within this click function. Okay, so we're going to go to this, and we want to get the attribute. Okay, and this is all still, jQuery stuff here. So we're going to get the attribute of index num. Okay, so I probably should have picked a different variable name. This could be confusing. So in this case, we're looking for the string index num. Okay, so not this variable index num. So I use the same one. I think it'll be all right for now, but it could potentially be confusing. So what we're going to do is get this variable, and now this variable should be equal to the index number, that value that we gave to these LIs, should be equal to that. So over here, instead of 0, we can put index num, and that should close, or that should open the right item in the side navigation menu. Now we also want to do it here, right? Because we want to be able to close the right item. So we'll do index num. All right, let's save it, and let's see if it works. All right, so we'll check. We'll see. Okay, everything's closed. Let's try the second one since we got the first one working before. Great. So I clicked on the second item, and you see the second item opened. And so, awesome, it worked. Okay, I'm getting a message here. It says my stream status is bad. So, I don't know, is anybody still watching? Can you guys still see? Is the quality really bad? I've never gotten this error message before. So, I guess if it gets really bad, let me know. I'm not sure what I could do on my end. The network's usually really good, so I'm not sure what the issue is. So hopefully that'll get better soon. Okay, so with our few minutes left, let's just test. So when we click, it should close. It should close the correct one. Great, it did. Now let's just click the other ones just to make sure they work. Great. Admissions open. Faith and Life open. Awesome. And let's double check. It's all closed. Okay, great. So we got the functionality that we wanted. It took a little longer than I expected. I didn't really want to take up pretty much nearly 2 whole half-hour live streams to do this. But it works, and it works in a way that will continue to work no matter how many links get added. So later on, if we decide we want 20 items up here, which we would not do, but let's say somebody decides they want 20 items here, this will still work. No matter how many items are there, it will work. If you take away items, that will work, because it's only dependent on what actually gets printed to the DOM, what actually gets rendered. Okay, so this actually, it wasn't my initial plan to do it like that, but kind of as we were talking over it at the beginning of this live stream, that idea just kind of came out of that thinking through, thinking through it out loud, which is kind of cool. I think that's kind of nice to live stream and talk through your ideas. I might not have thought of that otherwise, and I think this is probably the best solution. So if you're coding and you're stuck on something, just try talking to somebody. I mean, if you could talk to the wall or to your cat or something too, I guess, or you could live stream. But it definitely helped me in this situation. So this looks good. I don't think I have anything that we need to take out or clean up. Okay, great. Yeah. All right, that looks good. So yesterday I went over a couple minutes, so I'm not going to go over a couple minutes again today. I like to keep the videos a half hour or less. I just think videos longer than that seem daunting when you go to watch something. Like, I just usually don't have like a whole half hour block that I could dedicate to a video. But thanks for watching, and thanks for the feedback. If you're watching this after the live stream and you have some feedback, go ahead and comment. This header is almost ready to go. Just a few little style things that I'll probably get done between now and the next live stream, and then maybe we'll try to push it to that live site on the test page and just kind of see how it works, how it interacts with things. There's definitely a few things that we're going to have to work through that are going to be probably a little bit of problem, but hopefully we can get through it all, and it won't take us too long. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.